AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You sir.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world.
And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Massive recruiting weekend for Lane Kiffin's Tigers. Terriers coming up next hour. We got Super Regional Baseball going on. A lot to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
As the transfer portal opened on Monday, and as this has gone along and I've gotten names, I've passed them along to you, just to be clear, there's a lot of different ways that different outlets can go about handling portal conversations. I'm not telling you there's a good, bad, right, wrong, whatever. One thing that I'm not doing is saying LSU should go after this guy or here's how that guy might fit. What I'm telling you is I'm just giving you information as I get it. Players that I know are visiting or players that I know that LSU is interested in having transferred to the program. So two names that we've already shared with you this week ended up becoming LSU's first two commitments, and they are Landon Hood, who's the pitcher from Gonzaga, and Dawson Park, an infielder from Texas State. So I'll give you a little context on both these guys and kind of what role maybe that they're going to fill. So Landon Hood became the first. He's a righty from Gonzaga. If you're not familiar, he's a big 6'3", power guy, mid-90s. He's got a couple of different breaking balls, and they see him as a reliever. When you think about LSU next year, you're losing Zach Cowan out of the bullpen. You're very likely, obviously, going to lose Devin Sheeran to the draft. Maverick Grizzlies already entered the transfer portal. There's a really good chance Santiago Garcia isn't back. So you're looking for innings and real consistent arms out of the bullpen. So Hood would be one of those guys. He was the freshman of the year in the West Coast Conference. He was really good for the lion's share of this season. 2.48 ERA, struck out 78 across 54 and a third innings pitched. And there was a point in the season, as Hunt noted this over at LouisianaSports.net, it was about a 2-week stretch where he struggled, gave up 12 runs in 12 and a third innings. In the other 13 outings this season, he pitched to a .86 ERA. So you're talking about a guy who could come to LSU next year and compete for a rotation spot, but is more likely going to be a bullpen arm next year. That could be an innings eater for you potentially. Again, he threw 54 and a third innings this year at Gonzaga, where you're in West Coast Conference Freshman of the Year honors. So Landon Hood became the first commitment. And then yesterday on the show, we told you that LSU had interest in Dawson Park. Now, Dawson Park is an interesting one because he's a really good player, but his circumstance is what was interesting because he either, depending on how you read it, he either left the team, got dismissed from the team, whatever the case may be. And as the story goes, they're in the middle of a game and Park flew out. It was near the end of the season. And he and his teammate start getting into it, kind of have to be separated. He kind of has to be escorted out of the ballpark. And I kind of made some calls on this today. And maybe this is just, I hesitate to say spin because I don't want to give you any sort of leading impression here, but this is my opinion of it. I don't think Jay Johnson would recruit a guy that was a bad character guy into this program. Like, would you agree with that? Like, I don't think Jay Johnson would introduce a negative, a cancer into his locker room, especially in a season that is this important. If we look at LSU this year, what can we say? What did we say often throughout this season did they lack? And I think we would all agree they clearly lacked a vocal leader on this team. Sometimes you want your best players to be the most vocal. Well, Derek Curiel and Stephen Milam are not that guy. They're not very loud, outspoken guys. Jake Brown was the best player on the team for a chunk of the season. He's more of the class clown, and it's hard. He keeps everybody light and loose. It's hard to ask that guy then to be the hard-hitting dude that's going to keep everybody accountable. Gavin Guidry's a veteran player, but sometimes you hear this often. It's hard for pitchers, in particular relievers, to be the vocal leaders because they're not playing every day. So I think Jay wanted somebody with a little bit of remember when one of the Jordan twins got a knock off that kid from Texas and he was running to first base and he flipped him the bird? I think this kid would do that. Does that make sense? Like, I think, first of all, he's a really good player. Okay, 2 years at Texas State. He was leading the team in homers and RBI when he left the program this year. He's a really good infielder. So if Stephen Milam goes, Park is the heir apparent at shortstop. And I was told today he was of the infielders they've been looking at. We talked about Ty Konis earlier this week, the freshman from Maryland who was freshman all Big Ten. This is the guy they liked. This was the guy at the top of their list. And there were other programs like Arkansas and Tennessee and some big boys that were interested in Dawson Park as well. But LSU targeted him. He was the guy they wanted, and they got him. I don't know a number or anything like that. If I get it, I'll share it with you. But I think you kind of look at what happened there at Texas State with his exit, and hopefully we get an opportunity to talk to him, and I'll ask him. But this is my sense of it. Coaches, he's really competitive. They weren't winning. He's getting in his teammates' faces. They start fighting. Coaches tell him they're going to bench him. He's like they're not going to play him the rest of the year. He's like, fine, I'll just leave. And you can feel however you want about that, but that's kind of an attitude LSU didn't have this year on the team. Now, maybe that goes badly, but what I would ask you is, do you trust Jay Johnson that he knows what he's looking for in character guys that he's bringing into his locker room? And my answer to that unequivocally is yes. So I think they got a guy that is the heir apparent to Stephen Milam if he signs. If Milam doesn't sign, then he could play second or third. Ruckert would certainly be in the mix there as well with Ethan Klaus going into the portal. And they may still be after more infielders. But this is a guy they really like who can handle the bat as well and can play anywhere on the infield. So LSU's added a pitcher and an infielder. I don't know that this is necessarily season and off-season where LSU is going to go and try to sign, 15 guys out of the transfer portal. I don't know that the numbers are going to be that robust. I think, like last year where they added 4 infielders, I think instead of adding a bunch of guys that are all kind of the same and trying to do it with numbers, I think instead they're going to try to go hit like the upper crust, like consolidate the numbers and the quote-unquote buy, what you're willing, your investment, and get the top of the portal guys at these positions in need. So Tigers got their first 2 as the roster rebuild begins. Again, 5 players, well, now Klaus makes 6, have entered the portal. You're going to lose 9 guys who are out of eligibility. So right there, that's 15 roster spots that you're looking to replace. You can have a freshman class. It's going to get hit by the draft. We don't know how badly they're going to get damaged by the draft. We won't know that for another 6 weeks or so, 6-8 weeks. And then we'll have a better sense. But in the meantime, the way they're approaching this portal cycle is you have to go address it like you're not getting any of those guys back and you're not getting any of the freshmen coming in. You have to go address it like there is an opening. Not there might be an opening, like there is an opening, because you can't take the risk of missing that opportunity. All right, so 2 players. Jay Johnson has added his first 2 players, 2 guys we told you about earlier this week, and he had told you about other ones that they're in on. Trostler from Northwestern State. See about Mikey Bell, also from Gonzaga. We mentioned Ty Konis. I don't know if he'd still be on the list anymore after now adding Dawson Park, but we'll keep an eye on the transfer portal as we move into this weekend. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Look, you want to know why I have such a great relationship with my friends from Mockler Beverage, man. Chris Davis, Mary Lewis, Kristen Locketcher, and so many of my friends from Mockler came out yesterday to the show in Lake Charles. And that was awesome, man. I mean, even like CD, Chris Davis, and Mary, like they're based in Baton Rouge. They still decided to make the trip to go spend the day with Mockler in Southwest Louisiana, in Mockler there in Lake Charles, and then brought a whole herd of people. There was probably 15, 20 Mockler, Southwest Louisiana Mockler employees who came out to watch AFR yesterday. Stayed the whole 3 hours at Walk-Ons. Got a great partnership with them, man. They're, of course, it's the biggest beer brands in the world, but you're also talking about a local company that is the distributor of those brands. So when you walk into your local restaurant, your local bar, you walk into the store and you grab that 12-pack of Bud Light, whatever it is, cans, bottles, you're supporting a great local company that supported, churches and fairs and schools and other charitable organizations and religious organizations and the teams that you love, from the Tigers, the Saints, the Cajuns, the Cowboys. Man, it's Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, I got a break, y'all. When we come back, huge recruiting weekend is upon us for Lane Kiffin. Back-to-back huge recruiting weekends. That's basically all of June. So we'll set the stage, remind you the 6 players on campus for their official visits. That's next. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Not trying to make you jealous, but I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. We might dodge a few raindrops, but Eric and I and Drew, we're going to have some friends over tomorrow, do a little pool day, and really looking forward to it. We're going to order some Mexican food, drink some margaritas, hang out by the pool. That's a hell of a way to spend a June Saturday. And you don't have to dream about it. You can make that your reality as well, courtesy of Duplessis Pools. This house that we live in now is the first house that I've owned that has a pool. When I was a kid, we lived in a house about a year that had a pool, but I was like 7 years old. But I will never live in a house again without a pool. It changes everything we do socially. Drew loves the pool. Eric and I love the pool. Maybe you have a pool and needs to be remodeled, renovated, updated. Duplessis Pools can do that as well. So if you're starting from scratch with the dig, you're renovating your current pool, maybe you need to build that outdoor kitchen. They can even do a putting green for you. It's Duplessis Pools. Check them out online. Start there. Design the whole thing online. Pay for it. Finance it. DuplessisPools.com. DuplessisPools.com.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona. Presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
What?
You kind of looked like you were like, meh. So I was just like, uh-oh, what happened?
You kind of look like, yeah.
That's understandable. Yeah, I mean, I'm hitting the wall a little bit here.
Get your energy up, Muse.
I feel like I still have pretty good energy. For a Friday, I feel like I have good energy today.
A Friday. It's a day that ends in Y. You should have good energy. You woke up today, you're alive. Let's freaking go.
That's true. I am alive.
Let's go. Parrish has a huge announcement coming.
Like in the next couple of hours?
No, probably next week.
Okay.
I hope we can do it next week. Maybe next Friday I'm flying to Vegas.
That's right. You're not going to be here. I'm hosting.
So next Friday, flying to Vegas, going to watch No Doubt at the Sphere.
You've been to a concert at the Sphere, haven't you?
I went and saw the movie Wizard of Oz.
Wicked or The Wizard of Oz?
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Okay, cool.
Didn't I say Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, I just...
Then why'd you say Wicked?
I was just clarifying.
No, so Wizard of Oz. So Wizard of Oz at the Sphere in January. I didn't really care about Wizard of Oz. I'm always down for a trip. And so some friends of ours were like, hey, you want to go to Vegas and go to Wizard of Oz? I'm like, did you say Vegas?
Yeah.
I mean, the Wizard of Oz thing, whatever. So, but anyway, we went to Wizard of Oz, and the Sphere is amazing.
Yeah.
So I've joked to people, like, I would watch a dog taking a poop in the Sphere. It doesn't matter what you're going to watch. It's incredible. So anyway, same friends were like, hey, No Doubt is doing a residency at the Sphere. You want to go to Vegas? I was like, say Vegas?
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
And then I also am of the era that came up with No Doubt. And this is not Gwen Stefani solo. This is No Doubt. So I'm really excited about it. That's next Friday. Well, we're flying Friday. You're going to watch them Saturday, fly them Sundays. Quick jaunt. So easy to travel to Vegas. It's just easy, man. A little direct flight from NOLA. Just boop, boop. In, out. You get direct flights all day. You know. What?
I liked the boop, boop.
Beep, boop. In, out. It is easy. Super easy. So looking forward to that. So I won't be here next. But to the point.
Yeah.
Got a really big announcement.
Oh, man. Should we just have Terrio call in next week and announce it? No?
Nope. It's a really big announcement. It's a really big announcement. Close. It's really big. Whatever you're thinking, quintuple it.
Oh, okay. Quintuple it.
Yeah.
All right.
Quintuple it.
Huge announcement.
I mean, when I tell you this announcement, you're going to go, oh, you weren't lying.
Okay.
I mean, it's that. It's that. It's that. You can try to guess it if you want.
I don't even really have a guess, to be honest with you. If I did, I would try to guess. I would have been like, what if I guess and you just nod or something? But I don't even have a guess.
Okay. It's really big. Also really big, LSU's recruiting weekend. Transition. Hashtag radio guy. Last weekend, LSU had 6 official visitors, 4 of them 5 stars. This week, we know the storyline. 5-star edge Jaden Bryant flipped to Miami on Wednesday. So now LSU is welcoming another elite edge to campus. Remember, last week it was 5-star Abraham Cisse. This week, it's 5-star KJ Green. I should clarify, he's a 5-star according to 24/7. So in the Rivals industry, he's a high 4-star, but 24/7 ranks him as the number 8 overall player, regardless in the country, regardless of position. So they have him as a top 10 overall player. So we're talking about KJ Green. By the way, this was Shea Dixon on this show earlier this week talking about KJ Green.
I think he's a top 5, 10 edge rusher. It doesn't really matter. I mean, he's ranked as a 5-star already. The very first offer KJ Green ever got was in 8th grade at South Carolina's camp when Sterling Lucas offered him. So he had been recruiting him forever to South Carolina. You just carry that relationship over to LSU now. He's not a South Carolina kid. Yes, he is over in that area, but he's open with his process. And Lucas has a great relationship with the kid, with his parents, with everyone around him, with the people at the high school. So it's almost one where you feel like, okay, we've been in this one all along, instead of, hey, this kid kind of popped up on LSU's board whenever you got here. And that's just kind of the benefit sometimes of a coaching change where you bring in connections.
For what it's worth, Shea is predicting LSU is the leader for KJ Green, and that would kind of make sense, right? I mean, sometimes like you can read the tea leaves, and you can use circumstantial evidence to put a puzzle together, right? So last week they host a 5-star edge. This week they host a 5-star edge. In the middle of the week, the 5-star edge they had committed flipped. Well, it's kind of the writing on the wall, right? There were other guys at that position they were interested in, and so the guy they had started looking around. You could hardly blame Jaden Bryant for taking another opportunity as LSU's continuing to recruit other elite players at his position. Now, the key is you got to land one of them, and Shea seems to think they are the leader for KJ Green, so we'll see if they can land him. There's another really interesting, because there's 2 other prospects here this weekend that are currently committed to other SEC schools that LSU's trying to flip, much like a week ago where you had a couple of committed prospects in Easton Royal and it was Jalen Brewster. Jalen Brewster, of course, the number 1 defensive lineman in the country, number 1 player in the country. Well, one of the already committed players is Kelsey Adams. He's an offensive lineman who is currently committed to Georgia. Shea gave us a little bit of insight on him.
One I'm watching is Kelsey Adams, Matt. He's from Atlanta, plays at Langston Hughes, has been committed to Georgia for a while now, and is coming off his Georgia OV. And look, I'm not even knee deep in the weeds in Georgia recruiting, but I followed the storyline that they've just missed on some offensive tackles and lost some that they thought they were going to get. And he's been their guy. He's been committed since September, really. But the fact that you're getting him on campus and didn't shut things down after a Georgia OV is notable, because we have not seen them start to stack up on the O-line yet. And dominoes are kind of falling all over the place with top targets. So do you hone in on a guy like this and try to flip him from Kirby? And we'll see. But that's going to be one I think to watch this weekend.
I continue to maintain this staff is showing you they are not willing to invest big money in incoming freshman offensive tackles. Next year, so I think 2027, right? Jordan Seaton's likely gone. However, you probably have Sean Tompkins back, who is Baylor's left tackle this year. You very likely could be returning Weston Davis for a senior year. Devin Harper is here, who was projected to be Ole Miss's starting right tackle this year. Darren Stray's an offensive tackle you brought in from Kentucky. I mean, you've got guys there already. You're not going to overspend on an incoming freshman offensive tackle that they don't think is going to make an immediate impact. So we'll see what happens here. But I would rather them take the tact of, let someone else pay him as a freshman and then let LSU go sign him in the portal. Like they did with William Satterwhite after a year at Tennessee, like they did with Darren Stray after a year at Kentucky, like they did with Sean Tompkins after a couple of years at Baylor. So that piece is starting to, you're putting that piece of the puzzle together. Do they flip Kelsey Adams? We'll see. Maybe they think he can play on the interior as well. I don't know. But I'm just going to maintain, I'll be really surprised if they end up landing a premier offensive tackle out of the high school ranks, because it's just not where they're showing their willingness to invest funds. Now, there's two other prospects that are visiting. Tay Walden, Greedy James. And Greedy James currently is committed to Texas. That's a safety that LSU's trying to flip. Here was Shea on those two.
A couple of DBs, Corey Raymond will have in, Tay Walden out of Tennessee, and then Greedy James is a Texas commit out of Manville over there, but originally a New Orleans native when he was younger, but moved over to Texas and now plays high school football, like I said, at Manville. But committed to Texas. He's ranked as a safety, but Corey Raymond's been recruiting him at corner, and then Tay Walden's ranked as an athlete, but Corey's recruited him at corner. So they're going to take a couple corners in this class, so it's something to monitor there.
The other two prospects, remember, as far as corner, like 2020, you're probably looking at corners where you're betting on the come. You're not looking at high-end elite level corners that you're expecting to be plug and play day one guys. So, you look at a guy like we mentioned, Greedy James, who's a safety. Well, Tay Walden he's a 4-star athlete, might be coming in as a corner, and maybe the idea of playing at LSU is really intriguing. But again, where are they going to invest their money? I don't know that we're going to see it at corner for the high school class in 2027, because if you were going to do that, you would have done it with Joshua Dobson, the number one corner in the country, and they're showing they're looking to bet on the come there. The other two prospects that are on campus this weekend, a couple of running backs. Trey Segara, he's a running back out of South Carolina. Shea predicts South Carolina as the current leader. And a 3-star running back out of Frisco, Texas, Brennan Lacey, will also be on campus, as TCU is projected to be the leader there. Of course, the Tigers do have two really elite level running backs in the state of Louisiana, including Jaden Miles from just down the road at Catholic High, who is long thought to have been a heavy LSU lean, one of the best running backs in the country. So we'll see what the Tigers would like to do there. Remember, you obviously have Harlan Berry for a sophomore year, but we're talking about 2027. Berry could be back, and then the 4 portal running backs that you brought in could all be back, and then you could have Caden Durham back for a senior year as well. So how heavy do you want to go on running back in the freshman class remains to be seen. So maybe you lean on an in-state guy who's willing to wait his turn for a year and then maybe try to make a pop in 2028. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Remember, if you're thinking of buying land or you want to refinance your current land, First South Farm Credit should be your first call. You can always go to FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, because for more than 100 years, through 2 world wars, through economic upticks, downturns, natural disasters. Our friends over at First South Farm Credit have done one thing: help Louisianians buy land. They've done it since 1916. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Buying that land to build your family's dream home. Want that recreational property in Mississippi, your hunting property in Texas because you're tired of sharing a lease with somebody else? Start that process today with one of their great local lenders at First South Farm Credit. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. Nope, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. All habits die hard. The old URL works too. You can still go to FirstSouthLand.com, but FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Old habits die hard. Need to reprogram the brain. All right. Man, Muse. It's a big announcement. That's a big announcement.
And look,
It's big. Really big. We're just on a call. I was on a call at 1 o'clock today, preparing for the announcement over at Parrish.
so like next week on social media, y'all are going to announce it then?
Maybe.
I mean, since you're not going to be
We got to
here.
get a contract done. But it's there. It's like at the doorstep. And it'll be a big
It
deal.
might not even be next week.
Should be.
Should be. Okay.
Should be.
Big announcement?
Huge.
Huh.
With a Y.
With a Y.
Huge with a Y.
And you know it's really big.
That's how you know. Parrishbuilt.com. Parrishbuilt.com. All right, quick break. We'll go around the SEC. Another LSU men's basketball non-conference game has been announced. We're starting to see what it's going to look like for Will Wade in year one. So we'll get to that. Terrio's here in 30 minutes from right now. See if Terrio wants to throw any breadcrumbs out. See if he thinks I'm overstating the magnitude of the announcement for Parrish. I think he's probably just going to
Kind of co-sign with you.
I think he's going to crank the meter up even more.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think he's going to do. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. I challenge you. Be safe, but I challenge you. You see one of those vans driving the streets of the BR, you're at a red light. Don't take out your phone while you're driving. I don't want to see that. But if you're at a red light, snap a photo. Send it to me. Text me, tweet me, email me, Facebook me, DM me, something like that. I'm easy to get in touch with. Send me a photo. Telling you see them all over town. Because our friends at River City's 1 Hour Air take great care of Baton Rouge homeowners, making sure your AC is up, running right. Remember, also, we're heading into a weekend. They always work nights and weekends and never charge you extra to come out nights and weekends because you don't want to go to bed in a hot house. So if your AC is not keeping up, call River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, 752-0001. Love telling you about our friends at River Parish Contractors because if you are looking for work, my goodness, you are looking for River Parish Contractors, and they're looking for you. rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com. It's where you can go. They have the careers page. Hit the careers tab at the top of the page if you want to see the listings and the availabilities they have open. But look, the bottom line is not only are they going to give you a great hourly rate, but paid time off, amazing benefits package. You can work as much overtime as you want. And they were just recently awarded 4 jobs they had bid on. So they have tons of work coming. You want to work day shift? You want to work night shift? Awesome. You can do either. And you'll be home with your family every night for dinner because all their work is local. It's River Parish Contractors. rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
It's a big announcement.
You gotta stop this. I mean, you gotta give a hint. You gotta drop a hint, at least.
I can't. Cannot do it. Cannot do that. I'm just telling you it's big.
Biggest announcement in the history of the company?
I mean, aside from us like launching.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But yeah.
since you've launched biggest announcement?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, that
Yes.
really drives it home. I mean, you don't like hyperbole.
I run the risk by doing this right now, people being like, okay, you're overselling it, and then being let down when they hear the announcement.
Sure you do. That's a big risk to take.
That's how confident I am. People are going to go, oh, you didn't oversell it.
Are we putting a new roof on the governor's mansion?
No.
All right.
The men's SEC ACC basketball challenge. The pairings have been announced, and they're coming back to the PMAC, so that's nice. All these very nice non-conference games we've been hearing about. LSU playing Gonzaga in Spokane, playing Houston in Houston. They'll be playing in the Palm Springs, Acrisure, whatever that is, against somebody, but it won't be at the PMAC. Well, finally got a good one coming to the Maravich Center. LSU, December the 1st, that's a Tuesday. LSU is going to be hosting Wake Forest in the SEC ACC Basketball Challenge. LSU was on the road last year, so they're in line for a home game in the challenge for this year with Will Wade's first season coming back. So teams have played 3 times in the last decade. LSU, they played 6 times in all. LSU leads the series 4-2 and actually is on a 3-game win streak. One of those was under Will Wade when LSU beat Wake Forest in the finals of the 2021 Emerald Coast Classic down in Niceville, Florida. A year later, the Tigers rallied from a 20-point deficit with Justice Hill. Justice Hill?
We got rid of that one, remember? It was so much.
You just need to do it.
I can't do it.
Just do it.
Justice!
It wasn't even a good effort.
That's why I can't do it.
You can. You just didn't even give a good effort. Anyway, who would have thought we would ever need it again?
Not me. That's why we got rid of it.
Justice Hill hit the game-winning layup with 2 seconds remaining in the Holiday Hoops giving event in Atlanta.
Huh.
Justice
See?
is dead.
Sounds much
No,
better.
Justice Hill is not dead.
No, I know that.
And nor was Justice in the movie Jane Silent Bob Strike Back dead. He just thought she died in the explosion, but she didn't die.
She didn't die.
But he didn't die. Let's call that the $1 million wound. Government must keep that money. I never saw a nickel at $1 million. So anyway, LSU is going to play Wake Forest in the ACC SEC Challenge. Home game on December the 1st. We had yesterday when we were in Lake Charles, Heath Schroyer was good enough to hang out with us on the show. And in addition to talking about the international players who he thinks are going to be they're confident that those players are going to be eligible. I did ask him about the strength of that non-conference schedule.
I was teasing the other day. I said, we got a few home games here that, we can kind of, warm up a little bit, But you know what? It's exciting, and our schedule is going to be very, very daunting. But again, SEC is ranked the #1 basketball league in the country. So in order to get ready for SEC play, you have to have a very challenging preseason. And we're not going to go 12-1 and everyone think and it's all going to be inflated. We're going to have, we're going to have a few losses probably, but they're going to be against really good teams, and we're going to have some good wins, etc. But that's going to prepare you for the gauntlet of the SEC schedule.
You were thinking the same thing I was thinking?
I was thinking the same thing you were thinking.
We all thinking the same thing? I mean, the last 2 years, LSU had a pretty sterling non-conference record and then face-planted in SEC play. I think Heath Schroyer was telling you, look, it ain't gonna be 12-1 because we ain't playing the schedule that's gonna allow us to be 12-1. But there's gonna be some losses, there's gonna be some nice wins, but gonna prepare for what the hopeful inevitability is of playing into March. Success takes a team, not just on the field. At FMOL Health, that team is more than 20,000 strong, delivering care across Louisiana and Mississippi as one connected, mission-driven health system and as a $5 billion health system with nationally recognized quality and not one but 2 exceptional workplace awards from Gallup. FMOL Health has built something people trust and continues to grow to meet the needs of the communities they serve. I was over at the lake earlier this week, as a matter of fact, had my annual physical with Dr. Curtis Chastain, part of the Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health Group, and I encourage you all the time. Men, go to the doctor. women, go to the doctor. Get your annual physical. Get checked. If something's not right, go to the doctor. And there's so many different specialists that you could see as part of the FMOL Health system. And, of course, Our Lady of the Lake, the championship health partner of LSU Athletics. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, and LSU. Together, we roar. All right, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Congrats to Kevin Schnall on not getting tossed out of the College World Series final this year, but he was interviewed by South Carolina as one of the leading candidates to fill their head coaching vacancy. Of course, he's the Coastal Carolina head coach who got tossed last year in the final against LSU in the first inning, arguing balls and strikes because he's an idiot. Anyway, good coach, though. But, I mean, you get run in the national final for arguing balls and strikes in the first inning, you're an idiot. Anyway, this here says that South Carolina talked to another candidate as well. Feels like a formality with Schnall, but worth noting there. Also, Troy head coach Skylar Meade and North Carolina head coach Scott Forbes are added to the list of names to keep an eye on.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
Tennessee has parted ways with pitching coach Josh Reynolds. Josh Elander had tabbed Reynolds as the pitching coach after Frank Anderson joined Tony Vitello's staff with the San Francisco Giants. Elander now seeking his second pitching coach in as many years. Ball's allowed 87 home runs and pitched to a 4.72 ERA this season. That was the highest mark in more than a decade.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Hogs are losing freshman top 100 prospect Landon Schaefer in the portal. Schaefer's both listed as an infielder and an outfielder on the Hogs website. Played in 8 games for the Razorbacks. Got 1 start in right field. That was against Northern Colorado. He was a 20th round selection of the Phillies, but passed on the MLB to go to college. He's the 5th Arkansas player to enter the portal this cycle.
Texas A&M!
Mike Elko flipped Miami of Ohio defensive back commitment Errol Kearns. That a way to get. That's what that big oil money gets you. Flipping commits from Miami, Ohio. Kearns a 3-star, 15th ranked player at his position, the 12th player out of the state of Indiana.
The Florida Gators.
And Florida has landed a commitment from do-it-all athlete Camarion Johnson. He's out of Georgia. 6 foot, 185, the 16th best athlete overall in the country for the class of 2027. Pick the Gators over Florida State, Cincinnati, and others. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I might have to pop over by Don Juan after the show today. As I mentioned, a little pool day at the house tomorrow. I got the humidors pretty stocked right now, but can always use a few more sticks. Get on by Don Juan Cigar Bar and Don Juan Cigar Company right next door. Great place to go. Let the time fade by on any given day. Maybe watch the Super Regional Baseball NBA Finals Game 2 tonight. You can watch it over at Don Juan Cigar Bar. Limited food menu, but they have tons of drink specials always. Get on by Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center. All right, let me knock out a quick break, y'all. We will come back, wrap up hour number 1. Could the Chicago Bears actually be heading out of Chicago? I mean, they would still be the Chicago Bears. They just wouldn't physically be in Chicago anymore, which would be really, really weird. But that possibility continues advancing. So we'll discuss that here as we continue. Terrio's coming up in about 15 minutes from right now. Don't you move. It's AFR.
After further review.
You know how I tell you Darren James gives you an unbelievable customer service experience? You know, whenever you buy or sell a home and you use Darren has a moving trailer that anybody that buys or sells a home with him, like, you can use that trailer for free as part of your move. There's a picture of it right here. You can't miss it, by the way. It's a giant trailer. Rab Darren's face is all over it, too. But you can use that trailer for free. Just another way that Darren gives exceptional customer service. Like, when you go to the closing table, Darren's going to have like a home welcoming kit with all the necessities you may need as you move into a new home. He just constantly thinks of ways to give exceptional service and let you know as your client that he is always thinking about you. And, of course, he gets results. If you need to sell your home, you need the best. You need Darren James. Agent225.com. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
The Chicago Bears are moving to Hammond. You heard about that, Muse?
Hammond, America?
No. Hammond, Indiana.
Oh.
Not Hammond on I-12.
Oh, man.
No.
Had been big for the city.
No. I mean, we laugh, but Hammond, Indiana ain't big. You know what I mean?
This is the population of Hammond, Indiana.
I mean, Hammond, America has got Southeastern Louisiana University there. I don't think Hammond, Indiana's got anything. It might have a high school.
Bears Packers live from Strawberry Stadium.
No, that wouldn't happen.
Why not?
That wouldn't go down because I think you need a little more seating capacity. The idea is they're going to build this beautiful world-class stadium there in Hammond, America. I mean Hammond, Indiana.
Yeah, population of Hammond, Indiana, 77,800.
All right, check out Hammond, America.
All right.
I'm going to guess it's comparable, actually. Because if you look at Baton Rouge proper, I think Baton Rouge proper is like 400K, 500K. Greater Baton Rouge is, go ahead.
According to the World Population Review, Hammond, Louisiana, 24,000.
24. So Hammond, Indiana, about triple the size of Hammond, America.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Hammond, Indiana, except for the fact that you're in Northwest Indiana.
That's terrible.
Which objectively sucks. I know. I lived there for a year, and Northwest Indiana objectively sucks. You don't see the sun for about 6-7 months out of the year. It snows from October until May. Most people just stay inside, eat ice cream, get a little heavy.
Eat ice cream in that cold?
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. At the cafeteria at Notre Dame, they had something called Yo Cream. It was like a combination of yogurt and ice cream.
Okay.
And I think the lovely young ladies of Northwest Indiana thought that they were doing something that was healthy, right? Because it's like, it's not actually ice cream, it's Yo Cream. And we had a name. Okay, what?
Go on.
What?
All I heard is, thought they were doing something healthy. We had a name. Just go on. I'm listening.
There's an area in the midsection that became coined by the young gentleman on campus as the Yo Cream Pooch. It was very common throughout the winter months that, while in hibernation, not seeing the light of day, big heavy coats and sweaters all the time, chowing down on Yo Cream, maybe not quite as motivated to brave the negative temps to get over to the student rec center and maybe to work it off on the treadmill.
It's understandable, man.
You get that little pooch. Yeah, happened a lot. I got the hell out of there, bro. I got out of there.
Work it off when it finally warms up in June.
Had to go. So, Northwest Indiana sucks. Not for me. But look at that stadium, Paulie. Pull that up. Look, that's beautiful. That's a rendering of the stadium they're looking to build. And I don't know if you notice, Paul, can you go full screen on that? Okay, because look, I want to show you on this rendering. Look on the front of the stadium there where it just says Stadium. where you might have like the name of the stadium. It just says Stadium. Very astute artist there who might have done that. Anyway, this is a dispute that, as you probably know by now, the city of Chicago and the Bears are having. And I just don't think this is that surprising. I know there's folks that are going to say, well, the Bears are synonymous with Chicago. They're still going to be the Chicago Bears. They're just going to have their home in Northwest Indiana if they don't come to an agreement with the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois. And it's not uncommon. I mean, the Giants and the Jets play in New Jersey. I mean, the The Arizona Cardinals don't play in Phoenix. They play in Glendale. I mean, this is not anything that should be in the San Francisco 49ers play in Santa Clara. I mean, it's just not a surprising thing anymore in this day and age. You have owners that want land and they want tax breaks or government help in subsidizing a project, and I don't think that's wrong. I know some of you disagree, but I think the people that typically disagree, my argument has been for years, as it was when we talked about this with the Saints and the Pelicans, if you treated these decisions like incentivizing a business, a billion-dollar business, the same way that the state might subsidize the Hyundai plant or Meta or any of the other things that are coming to this state, that you had the folks from Woodside Energy. You're building a $17 billion LNG facility in Southwest Louisiana. The state, Sarah Bairstow said right here and talked about what a great steward of their capital the state of Louisiana has been. Well, that's $1 billion entity. Of course you want to treat them great. Well, why wouldn't you treat a professional sports franchise the same way? That's always been my take on it. So if Illinois and the state of Chicago won't, go to Northwest Indiana. Play at Stadium in Hammond. That's what we're going to call it.
Great atmosphere at Stadium. Tough place to play, man.
Play their Stadium. Maybe they'll sell some Evermore at Stadium. Huh? We'll have more at Stadium? You want to get rid of that pooch? The Yo Cream pooch. Drink Evermore at Stadium in Hammond, Indiana. Hour 2 is next.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Hey, listen, kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens. I say that all the time. So it's important to note, yes, with Parish Restoration, what we're talking about primarily is mold remediation, right? If you have mold or think you might, if you had water intrusion, look, wet, humid, breeding ground for mold, we all get that. We all went to science class in like the 5th grade. We put it like in a little petri dish and you got it. Anyway, you want to get rid of mold, Parish can help. But like, let's say my goodness, I don't want to be specific, but cold, flu season, COVID, whatever. If you have other harmful pathogens, strep throat, something going through you want to kill, like they can come in and dry fog the entire place. A school, a church, an office building, a doctor's office, a workout facility, and it'll get rid of odor as well. It'll kill the odor-causing bacteria. ParishRestoration.com. Check them out online, parishrestoration.com.